somebody changed their mind and decided to put a door there, so now we gotta fix it. This is how I do it. We need to cut that back 10 mil so that the plastic can go up a little bit. Cut this real quick. This is about 40 mil. I got 65 mil. We don't have to tape this internal here. So I'm just gonna focus on this little piece for now. And what I got there is 260. I gotta do this side as well. 970. 970. I didn't bring a gun. I go get a gun. I'll be right back. Alright, let's put it up. Now this is a small little piece. You can put glue on this if you want. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this piece out. You can slide it past our corners. I know it's a big gap, but we'll cover that real soon. So check this out. Quickly screw it. Make sure your screws are in. You gotta do the same thing on this side. That there is up. Probably wondering why I haven't hung this yet. Now the focus is not on this. The focus is more up there. I know you can see a big gap up there, but I'm gonna get rid of that once I'm cornicing, which I'm gonna do in this video as well. I'm gonna go mix up 5-minute set. Tape these 4 little internals. That way they're drying while I hang this. You gotta have a system like this so you get it done quicker. So come on, let's go mix up a real quick 5-minute set. Just need water. Look, you don't need too much, and you also want it very runny. Right there, I'm happy. I just go find the tray. Always scrape paint back so it sticks, and then just apply the gear on there. You can find a video on my page on how to do internal, where I break it down step by step if you are not sure on what I'm doing. Put the tape up there and just cut it. Cool. Just cut it for the phone, just like that, because it's gonna go to a tight space up there. Gonna repeat the same thing. It'll be too long there. Now, I'm gonna clean it up. Careful how much gear you take off. You're gonna create a bubble if you take all the gear out. If you don't take enough gear out, the internal is not gonna be sitting right. So how easy was that? I'm gonna do the exact same thing I did here on this side, okay? That part there is done. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut back that miter so that we can put up a new piece of cornice up there right now. This is a quick video. Cool, I got my piece right there. So I know it got a little bit messy when I was taping that internal with my running gear, but it's fine, don't stress. I'm gonna cut a little piece of cornice. Listen, because my plaster is not all the way up, the plaster is 10 mil, so I have to add on 10 millimeters. Cornice is 75 millimeters, so I'm gonna go 85, you know what I'm saying? 85, mark that up there. I'm happy there. I'm gonna do the same thing this side. My little piece right here, I'm gonna trace that mark all the way to nothing, and now I'm gonna cut it. You can use a knife for this, with a sharp blade. But I got a renovator, so I'm gonna use it. It's gonna get real loud, so I'm gonna come back when it's cut. That's cut, okay? We're gonna test it out, see how good of a cut we did. I know it doesn't look too good there and it's a big gap, but you're not gonna see that once it's done because this is what it looks like now. That gap there is gone. It's a little bit rough of a cut down here. I'm gonna trim it a little bit better with my knife. This is what we got. That there is not the worst thing I've ever seen, so that's a pass. Check the other side. I'm trying not to drop my renovator. I'm gonna put it between my legs. And that's a bad cut. But you get the point. Trying to cut it the best. You're gonna scrape it back like you did with the internals because it's paint so that it sticks. I'm gonna go roughly where 75 millimeter is, where your cornice is gonna land. You don't wanna go past that, otherwise it's the patch. It's more of a renovation than a new job. I'm gonna take off 3 millimeters instead of 2 or 1. Write it down, 969. Measure the other side as well. I've made a video on this too. Go check it out. But I'm gonna cut it real quick. 969 right there. All we gotta go do is mix up some cornice cement, come back, put it up, and top that and hang this, and that's a wrap. Okay? So let's go mix up cornice cement real quick. I'm back with my cornice cement and my cornice. I'm gonna put it up right now. This is what you do. You can use your 6-inch for this. You can use a 4-inch. You can use anything as long as you apply the cornice cement on the cornice like this. You're gonna do the same thing on this side. Good. Maybe I put too much. It's gonna get real messy. Grab a little bit here like this. Check it right in the miter right there. That's what's gonna hold this miter together. The same thing this side. Grab the cornice, My hands are dirty, so my corner is gonna be dirty. Trying to avoid that if you can. And check this out. Because it's a small little piece, it doesn't flex a lot. What I do is I don't go all the way up. I just go right about there. Get this matter in right about there. And then this is the only way to do this. There's no other way. You just got kind of slide it up. Like that. Cool. That's up. That's it. Finish. And then what you do from there is you get a small tool, a 4-inch, a 3-inch, and you clean up this gear. So clean that up. Look, now the gap is gone and you don't see it, right? Do the same thing up here. Make sure it's well filled, because when you don't fill now, you're gonna see it when it's painted. So you wanna make sure it's a good job now. That's all swiped and clean. For now, you still gotta sponge that. Where do you get a little bit of gear and you clean up the miters like that. Make sure that the bottom is nice and flat. Just like that. Yeah. I'm gonna come here, do the same thing. Make sure it's not nice, right angle. Now I'm gonna go through the miter and clean it up. Make sure it's nice and filled, and I just feel it nice and flat. So it's nice and it matched. It matches. All these imperfections, you gotta come back later and wash it off and scrape it off. But you're trying to clean it up as the best you can right now, so you don't do too much later. Okay, like I always say, I'm trying to make it easier for the next step. Otherwise, it'll be a headache. Cool. I'm happy there for now. I'm gonna repeat the same thing on the other side as usual. I know it looks dirty and ugly, doesn't look clean, but don't worry, we're still working. So stay tuned. I'll clean that up and it will look. Now, while we wait for that to dry, so we can clean it up and make it look special. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna hang it. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough, okay? But this is not meant to look good. It's more of a packer rather than an internal that we need to deal with. I don't have time to strip a 30mm little piece times that by 4 because it's very hard. So what I'll do is I'm gonna hang this piece exactly like you see it. So I'm just gonna go up there and I'm gonna screw it now. See that? Real easy. That's it. Now because it's the same dough, same size, same everything, I went around it all my 4 sides, and now what I'm gonna do, instead of measuring, I'm gonna go to the ground and I'm gonna cut that through, all the way through. Cut that off. I'm gonna do the same thing on this side, do that off. Snap it, got it. Do the same thing this side. Come on, show you what I'm talking about, just so you know what I mean. Obviously, that's a door, like the one I'm doing. Come a little bit closer. That's your 65 skirting, architrave. And they've actually hid that internal by installing another little piece right into the corner. You know what I'm talking about? So that's what you're gonna see on the other side once it's finished. So don't worry about it. Look, I got my water with some sponges, and this is what you do. Before, when we were doing the miters, we left a little bit of a dag here and there. You wanna make sure there's nothing there now. And with your sponges, and the softer the better, you get not too much water. Now you literally wanna wash the corners clean. You don't wanna overdo it because you rip that paper. You just wanna make sure it's nice and clean so all this doesn't come through when you paint. I'll just quickly wash that. Pretty cool there. Always change the sponge around. Now I've washed the corners. So, quick disclaimer. You usually top coat the internals and everything that needs to be top coated. You sand it and then you put the corners on. But in this case, because I'm trying to do it as fast as I can, I've taped my internal, put my corners on, I washed my corners, and now I'm gonna top coat it because I can't wash it after I've top coated because I'll mess it up. That's why I did the way that I did it, so that I can do it as fast as I can. Now we're gonna top the internal, real easy. I got some top coat right there, and I have a internal topping handheld too. Because it's paint right there, it's gonna create a lot of pinholes, right? And because not everything is dry, it's dry, but it's not completely dry. It's gonna create pinholes there as well. What you do is, you put a gear on and you take it right off. on both sides. I'm gonna put a gear back on now and do it properly. Put pressure on one side. I'm going a little bit lower than my tape. Make sure you're feathered. There's no edges on it. Get a little bit of gear on your handheld tool. Hold it like that. I've made a video on this part too, right? Like that right there. And then you wanna go into the corner and clean it up without taking too much off, but also without leaving too much on. And you want a very sharp corner that has no edges. I like that. I'm gonna repeat the same process on all of my other internals. Internal needs to be sanded and it's ready to be painted, and that's it. That's everything. That's how you do something like this under 1 hour, because that's how long it took me to film this video. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner, professional, a professor, a college student, a student, you can do that too. So if you ever want to change your hallway, cut it in half and install a door, that's how you can do it, step by step, real nice and easy. Anyways, guys, there you have it. Adios and peace out. Make sure you follow so that I can make more videos like this. Adios, G.